Hello and welcome back to the Starting 5 video series. My name's Adam Spencer. You can find me on Twitter at AdamSpencer4 and at SDS Basketball. In today's video, we're going to bring football into the mix and discuss the 5 SEC programs with the best football and men's basketball teams. We'll start with 5 and we'll work our way to number 1, though you probably already have a pretty good idea of who number 1 is. So let's get started. Number 5, Mizzou. I know that might seem surprising to some of you, but both programs in Columbia are heading in the right direction. Newly hired football coach Eli Drinkwitz made a big splash this year. Nobody expected the Tigers to go 5-5, but there they were. They pulled off an upset of LSU. They beat Arkansas again. They looked good all year. They won the games they were supposed to. They lost to some teams that were frankly better than them. But right now, the Mizzou football program is trending up, up, up. The basketball team, after a great run through non-conference play, has hit some hard times recently with losses at Ole Miss, at home against Arkansas, and then an inexplicable loss at Georgia this past week. But the Tigers are still going to make it to the NCAA tournament, and when they get there, if they're playing the way that they have shown they're capable of playing, they can be a tough out in the tournament, or they could lose in the first round if they keep this latest trend going. Either way, both teams are heading in the right direction, and it's been exciting to watch at times this year. At number 4, we have the Georgia Bulldogs, and this frankly is mostly on the strength of the football team. Kirby Smart is a great recruiter. Tom Crean is a great recruiter too for the basketball team, but the results haven't quite been there as much for the basketball team, though they did just pick up a win over the Missouri Tigers. That was a signature win for their dwindling NCAA tournament hopes. Still, the pieces are there. If KD Johnson comes back next year, if Severe Wheeler's back next year, if some of these other guys return for one more ride with the Bulldogs, this team has the talent to take a step forward and possibly compete for NCAA tournament bids. And if you combine that with how strong the football team has been, with JT Daniels coming back to lead the way in 2021, big things are happening down in Athens. At number 3, we have the LSU Tigers. Now, the football season did not go the way that the Tigers wanted it to, but let's not forget that they're 1 year removed from an incredible run to a national title under Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, all those guys under Coach O. That was a special season. They went 15-0, set all kinds of records. It was a fantastic year in Baton Rouge. Now, as far as the basketball team goes, I know Will Wade is a bit of a controversial figure in basketball circles due to some alleged NCAA violations that have taken place under his watch, but the fact of the matter is the Tigers can score. They're one of the most potent offenses in the entire SEC, and when they're on fire, they can take down anybody. They're going to make a run for the NCAA tournament this year, and when they get there, they're going to be dangerous. Now, are they a championship caliber team? I don't think so, not quite yet, but the way Will Wade is landing players in Baton Rouge, this team can continue to succeed, and that makes it worthy of the number 3 spot on this list. At number 2 on the list, we have the Florida Gators. The Gators just won the SEC East on the gridiron under Dan Mullen, and the pieces are in place there in Gainesville for him to make another run for another SEC East title and potentially an SEC overall title in 2021. On the hardwood, Mike White, I thought he entered the year on the hot seat and then he coached his way off it. Now he might be back on it a little bit more. But the fact of the matter is, after this long layoff from COVID, the Gators are still an NCAA tournament team. Yes, they just lost at Arkansas last week, but this is a team that is going to continue to pick up big wins as we head down the stretch, and they'll be a dangerous team in the SEC tournament if they're hot. How far can they go in the NCAA tournament without a guy like Keontae Johnson? I don't know, but this team is heading in the right direction. They continue to get guys in there. Mike White recruits really well, and sometimes those players don't exactly pan out, but some of them do, and if he continues to bring these guys in, and if he continues to play the transfer portal the way he has, then this team can continue to have success in both football and basketball moving forward. They're number 2 on the list. Now, like I said up top, you probably know who number 1 is. Number 1 is obviously the Alabama Crimson Tide. Just finished off an incredible undefeated season on the gridiron. Nick Saban, 7th title, 6th at Alabama. Greatest college coach of all time, in my opinion. But they also have a pretty great basketball coach in Nate Oates. He came down from Buffalo last season, and his system is taking the SEC by storm. 3-pointers, getting to the rim, getting to the foul line. It's all working. He's probably going to be the coach of the year in the SEC. Herb Jones is going to be the player of the year. I think he's running away with that award right now. All things are coming up Crimson Tide. It's almost not fair how good Alabama's been in both men's basketball and football. Give some of the rest of us something to root for, why don't you? So to recap, number 5, Mizzou, number 4, Georgia, number 3, LSU, number 2, Florida, and at number 1, best men's basketball and football school, the Alabama Crimson Tide.